Matter of fact, 90s all the way through Tuesday of next week, lows at night in the 60s. Sunset tonight at 6:44. Right now, 65 degrees in downtown Sylacauga. Hey, Daybreak this morning is brought to you in part as well by your State Farm agent, Albia Steers, on the Talladega Highway in Sylacauga. Homeowners, automobile, boat, and motorcycle insurance. It's your State Farm agent, Albia Steers. 1010 North Broadway. Hey, you can depend on your State Farm agent, Albia Steers, one of our great sponsors of high school football. It's Albia Steers there when things go wrong, here to help life go right. 256-245-6061. That's a wrap for me for another week of Daybreak Live. I'll be with you tonight along with my grandson Zach. We've got high school football. Pregame is at 6:30. Till next time, God bless you. God bless America. Stay safe, everyone.
Rise and shine, everyone. It's 7:30 on your Friday morning, September 20th. And of course, it is Alabama Cares Friday. So we have our friend Ellen Hurst with us. And today we have the pleasure of speaking with Jason Brown, the Assistant Chief and Fire Marshal for the Anniston Fire Department. With over 16 years of service to the department and 4 years as the city's Fire Marshal, Jason has dedicated his career to ensuring the safety and well-being of our community. In addition to overseeing the fire prevention and public education programs, he also supervises the building and safety department and plays a crucial role in fire investigations to determine causes and prevent future incidents. Jason is also deeply involved in shaping the next generation of first responders through the Fire Science and Dual Enrollment EMT program for high school students. And he leads a vital smoke detector initiative for our community. We're excited to learn more about these efforts and the important work he continues to do. So with that, welcome Ellen, welcome Jason.
Good morning.
Good morning. Friday, we have to loosen up with our Friday dance, okay?
All our guests.
Yeah. Loosen up, it's Friday.
Oh, we got to do that.
You got to do that.
Okay.
Friday.
We can do it.
There you go.
Yeah,
There
it
you
makes
go.
it, loosen it up for the
Yes,
conversation.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So great. Well, we're so happy to have you. Ellen speaks so highly of you and the great work that you two get to do together and all of the things that you do at Anniston Fire Department. So I'm excited to learn more. So let's dive in. Ellen, good morning.
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 Yeah, I wanted Anniston Fire Department to come definitely because they were such a good department when I did the Alzheimer's friendly training for first responders. Johnny Phelps, which he's one of the assistant chiefs there in Anniston, wanted me to come, and I've actually done it several times, and they have a very high participation rate because you have to be, 87% of your department has to meet, come to the class to get the certificate so that they can be a dementia-friendly agency. And Anniston exceeded that because I actually went 3 days and did all their shifts.
Wow.
So, yeah, which I think I did a morning and afternoon class 3 days. Wow. so I could
To catch everybody, yeah.
So I could cover all their, but they just made sure that everybody had the opportunity to come to that because I think it's really awesome that Anniston Fire Department felt that it was important to learn about dementia and there are people in their community and to better serve their community. And I think all these programs that you talked about to introduce him, I mean, wow. You're busy.
Well, hey, look, I'm not going to take any or all of the credit. That's not on me. We have a deep tradition of involvement, and we have a lot of people involved in those programs to help out with us.
Right.
So the dementia-friendly training, that is such a great service that that Ellen, and a resource that she gets to share with the community. Tell us about the feedback that you had from the department after the completion of this dementia-friendly training.
So it was, excuse me, it was positive feedback. Our members in our department, we pride ourselves in making sure that we can provide the best service we can. And we run these calls. We interact with these individuals, with these diseases and illnesses. And sometimes it's hard to transition from trying to help somebody when there's something else going on, and maybe there's a family member with Alzheimer's, or maybe they're the patient. So it's really good training. Our guys really enjoyed it, and it gave them some more tools in their toolbox to be able to better assist the public and the people that we have to care for and run these calls in.
Yeah, absolutely. Because every call is different, I can imagine. And being aware, having that education of, okay, well, these are the signs to look for. And Ellen, I haven't gone through the training. I really want to, but she's told us a lot about it. And it really allows you to kind of walk in the shoes of someone who is handling dementia, going through
kind
dementia.
Of like a virtual tour.
Yeah.
When I have the volunteers that come up so everybody can watch.
Yeah.
And I think of that too, that first responder, I wish more first responder agencies would participate, but I think they don't realize that I'm here to help you guys too, because we're the area agency on aging, and if you know what we do, and we can alleviate some of your calls that are not 911 calls, because they get calls that are not 911.
Sure. Yeah.
They just call the fire department or call the police department because they don't know who else to call sometimes. And if we can give them the tools to tell them, look, this is what our agency does. If you have those calls, give them this. And if they're not taking their medicine, or if they're because they can't afford it, we have prescription programs here. Give them this push card, tell them to call us or whatever. Then that alleviates their time, and they're not out there doing every single call that's not 911.
Yeah, that's a great point, because you're really busy. You stay busy. You've got, and so to be able to alleviate some of that guesswork that it takes. Well, where would I tell somebody to go with this? This is what they need, but I don't know. But with the resources, and as Ellen always says, you don't know what you don't know. And I mean, that's so true in a lot of cases, and in this especially. Like, if you go out to a call and you don't know what the resource is to give to the person calling, or they don't know, then that just helps equip you to better serve the community.
Well, and that's where we get that feedback from the patient or the family on the initial call. If they can tell us that patient is an Alzheimer's patient, or maybe a dementia patient, or has a diminished mental capacity, then the training that they've offered, and by the way, we probably need to do it again because we got a lot of new guys.
That's fine. I'm up for it.
But the training that they offered, and like she said, going through the hands-on, having some role players and people that, look, you can all day sit and look at a PowerPoint,
Right.
but the way she teaches it, to put it hands-on and actually have to walk through the steps, it makes a big difference. It allows us to put practical application out there, and when the patient or family comes in and says, hey, look, this person's got Alzheimer's or dementia, now we've not only been taught about how to do it, we've been showed how to do it, we've actually done it physically because we did it in their training. Now we can step in there and actually perform the task.
And not always is there a family member there to help, kind of give you a heads up that there is an Alzheimer's situation or whatever it might be.
And then sometimes you have that caregiver, sometimes they're the ones that called her, sometimes maybe it's the patient, but that's part of the training too, is we talk about how sometimes it's them going in there to straighten out, the one's mad, the other one's like stressed out, that kind of thing. So yeah, because caregivers stress out.
Oh yeah.
I mean, big time.
Understandably so.
Yes. Yes.
Is that a call that you get often, or?
Personally, not being on a truck anymore, I don't run many of those calls anymore. But our trucks and crews do respond to a number of medical calls, and a lot of those calls do involve these patients. The majority of the calls we run in the fire service, not just here in Anniston, but nationwide, is medical calls. It probably exceeds 70% of the call volume of most departments in the country. So, and in that number of calls and that percentage of calls, we do run a lot of the elderly, people that are aging, and this is a natural. It's just in some families it's a natural.
The population's growing.
Yes.
By leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
So by running these calls more and more, interacting with these patients more and more, getting good training like what she's offering, it allows us to better home in and focus on, okay, maybe somebody's not there to tell us this patient has Alzheimer's. Maybe they're not to the point to where they're 100% not self-sufficient. They can still stay by themselves sometimes. It allows us to pick up on the key points of, okay, when we're assessing that patient, is this going to be, possibly an Alzheimer's or dementia patient or something of that nature, so that we can provide them with that care they need. Because sometimes they just can't tell us. They can't tell us. So, but like I'm saying, with running that many medical calls and the age of patients and people, the age of patients getting older and older, and as they get older and older, the chances of running the call is higher. And now that we, hopefully can stay up on that training and recognize and provide that care. And like she said earlier, sometimes there is no medical issue. Sometimes it's just, there's a caregiver, there's a patient, and they've just had enough.
Yeah,
sometimes it is just us, being that third party that comes in to calm the storm and set everything back to a normal tone. And and look, it's not technically an emergency. But that's what our job is. It is. Yeah. So that's part of what our job is to help where needed.
And it can help prevent emergencies too.
Absolutely.
Because if that can, get out of control, if there's not that person there that's equipped to kind of handle and to be the mediator, if you will. Because I can understand tensions are high, stress is high with a caregiver, and then someone who's going through something like dementia and Alzheimer's, because that can be so incredibly stressful to not remember, to not know these things that you know that you should know.
And as a caregiver, they take it personal because they don't look at it as the disease. They look at it, that's still my mom, and she's doing that to drive me crazy. Or, seriously, that's I hear that all the time. I know she's doing that just to make me mad, or just to, and it's like, no, it's the disease, and it's hard not to take it personal when it is your loved one.
And then there's ups and downs in that. I mean, today may be a good day. Today may be the day to where they have some cognitive memory and they interact with you in a way that they did in the past, and so that brings that caregiver up, and then the next day, or not even the next day, it could be the next 30 minutes. It tanks and something changes, and now all of a sudden it's back to the combative, the argumentative, the totally different person than what they're used to. So that emotionally on a caregiver is hard, and it's also hard on the patient because they don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
They can't.
And speaking of those patients too, and I think this is something we really didn't cover in our training, which I just had a lot more. But you do fire prevention and all that, and Fire Prevention Month's coming up, and senior citizens and fire is a big thing. Space heaters, cooking inappropriately, all those kind of things. So, that's something I'm sure that's hard too. I mean, especially if it's somebody that lives on their own, or who has cognitive issues that maybe forget, which I think I told you guys in training before, they're all about color. If you put red tape on the stove, they usually stay away from it because they think it's still hot. But that's just one of the one tip, I guess. But do you guys see a lot of fire issues because of the elderly?
Probably not as much as you think. But one of the things our crews are really good about is they use every opportunity to promote safety. So if they're in a residence or a business or wherever it is on a call, and they see something that needs addressing, they'll mention it. If they're in a home, they see people doing things that are not safe practices, or drop cords being left on, stoves being used as heat. So if they see that, they use that opportunity to push that fire safety and to try to teach good habits. To the effect of, the elderly, we go into the senior citizen buildings and facilities in Anniston. All the city-run facilities, about once a year they'll contact me and we'll go in and we'll do a fire safety
that's wonderful.
Thing. And some of the nursing homes will have us do the same thing. The big thing with the nursing homes, and this started with a statewide push last year, there was a meeting in each region with the fire marshals of the cities and the directors and safety personnel of the nursing homes. So the departments had a representative and the nursing homes had a representative. And we just got together and talked about what they could do better how we could help and how we could come in and maybe educate not just the people that live in those places, but the staff on certain things. That was well received. Just the homes here in Anniston, we didn't have many problems with, you know, most of them, but just a few minor issues we've had, they've gone in and, you know,
I'm
kind
sure
of
my
tweaked those.
coworker Summer, the ombudsman, appreciates you doing education.
And sometimes that's where it starts. It starts with a conversation. It starts with education, and we have so much more to talk about with education, especially. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're watching Rise and Shine right here on WEAC TV 24.
Some say college isn't for single parents or people who work full-time. I'm here to prove them wrong. I'm a first-generation American, the father of Dion, and a non-traditional student at Gadsden State Community College. As a sergeant in the Army National Guard, I've watched soldiers with degrees progress faster in their careers. So today, I'm in school, involved in the Veterans Upward Bound program, and excited to see what's in store for my career. I truly am earning my wings at Gadsden State.
Come out and check out the Alabama Tractor difference. We can take care of all your needs of parts, sales, and service for RTVs, zero turns, and tractors and construction equipment. See us here in Lincoln at 620 Speedway Industrial Drive. Or come visit us here in Asheville at 275 6th Avenue, or give us a call at 205-594-7000.
At Southern States Bank, we pride ourselves on being your bank. We're your neighbors and involved in the community. We're the bank featuring the Southern Rewards checking account, a cashback account with no ATM fees. We are on the cutting edge and always have a smiling face to help you out. So come to Southern States Bank, where we are committed to great service and being a great neighbor. Let us be the bank for you and your business.
Hughes Paint and Body Works Towing and Recovery in Oxford is the area's leading auto body shop, serving Anniston, Oxford, Talladega, and surrounding areas since 1996. They specialize in auto body repair and refinishing, paint correction, paintless dent repair, towing, and so much more. For all of your auto body needs, contact Hughes Paint and Body Works Towing and Recovery at 256-835-1170. Also online at HughesPaintandBody.com.
I'm Alan Parnell, with Parnell Insurance Agency. We've been here in Oxford and Alabama, Tallapoosa, Georgia since 1990. With Auto Owners Insurance, we're able to give customers competitive pricing along with excellent coverages. Parnell Insurance can handle all of your personal, commercial, and life insurance needs. We have a very experienced staff, both personal and commercial. All together, we've got about 125 years experience. Come see what our insurance agency can do for you in Oxford, Alabama, and Tallapoosa, Georgia.
Auto Owners Insurance.
At Bentley Prosthetic and Medical Supply, we care about you. We offer custom prosthetics, orthotics, diabetic shoes, and durable medical supplies. We're located here in Alexandria, Alabama, where it's a country feel but professional care. Come see us today.
Rise and shine and welcome back at 7:47 on your Friday morning, September 20th. Of course, every Friday we get to visit with Alabama Cares and we get to learn so many great things. So Ellen is with us and she has brought along a guest, Jason. So Jason, when we went to break, we were talking about education and how important conversations are and education is. And I know that you have benefited so much from the program that that Ellen is able to bring into businesses and companies and fire stations and really anyone who wants to learn more about how to be more equipped to handle Alzheimer's and dementia. And you also work on many educational programs. There's a fire science program for high school juniors and seniors, and that's a really exciting initiative. How did that program come to be?
So these programs were started, the vision was years ago by Chief Phelps and some other leaders at the department, and they just took it and ran with it. We've through the help from the city and grants and things like that, we've been able to build our training center, and through that a lot of doors have opened. So Chief Phelps reached out to the school systems. It started with Anniston City Schools, And since that time, it's branched to Jacksonville and all the county schools, and so it's a program to where initially seniors could come to the fire science, the fire training center, one block of school each day, and go through a fire science program. At the end of the year, they got out and they could challenge the state test once they turned 18, and essentially go through a condensed recruit school as a 5-week instead of a 10-week course. And essentially, by the end of summer, go to any fire department in the state of Alabama and work as a certified fireman.
Wow.
Isn't that awesome?
That is so awesome.
And their training center is fabulous.
Oh yeah,
it's incredible.
It's like, y'all got it going on over there in Anniston.
That is state of the art. That is a really, really beautiful facility.
Yeah, so we've actually expanded that program. It started, you're gonna make me lie to you, I think it was 3 years ago. Chief Phelps and some others with the department, through partnerships and things like that, actually partnered with Gadsden State, and now we offer an EMS program. So the juniors, as a junior, you can go through the fire science side. You have to be a senior to go through the EMS side, but as a junior, you can go through the fire science. As a senior, you can go through the EMS, and once you get done in May with school, essentially you have two certifications.
Yeah.
You know.
Wow.
Right.
So the kids that finish the EMS part of, or the EMT part of it, so how do they become? You know what I mean?
So once they, I mean, essentially, like when I got hired at Anniston, you got hired, you went through fire school, and sometimes we did EMT first, sometimes we did fire first. But either way, you had a year to get your EMT basic. So typically, like when I went through, you went at night. You went in the afternoons from like 5 to 8 or 5 to 9, you know, whatever the schedule was, to Gadsden State or, you know, the campus there in Anniston and McClellan. So some classes they would offer during the day, but, you know, essentially it's a college class that these high school students are
That's awesome.
dual enrolling into. And, you know, when they get done in May, they sit the state test, and then they'll sit National Registry, and if they pass both of those, they're certified EMT.
And then they can go further on, and then they can become a paramedic and all that kind of stuff. That's awesome. And you know, I know that some fire departments don't even have EMTs, or they may have, but they don't. There's a few that don't even answer, like they don't do calls, because I know my husband's a retired fireman, and I know the fire department he worked for in Talladega, they are one of those that didn't run medical calls.
Yeah, some departments don't. Anniston we do. We don't transport, obviously, but like just in Calhoun County, you've got a mix. Oxford doesn't run EMS calls unless requested. We do, but we don't transport. But then Jacksonville does and does transport. So there's a mix across the board. But most every fire department, you know, especially in the state of Alabama, now is requiring at least that EMT level.
I think that's great.
So.
I think it's great that you have that partnership with Gadsden State. I've gotten to visit with them on Thursday mornings. They come in and we get to visit with different areas of Gadsden State, and I've gotten to visit with the EMT program, and that's incredible. It's incredible what the students get to participate in. They have that firsthand knowledge with the simulation programs that they have, and they have an ambulance all set up. So they have that, going back to the like hands-on approach, and that's so important because, like you said earlier, we can watch a PowerPoint, we can see that, we can take notes, but if you actually get to physically be involved with something, your learning increases. At least I do. I learn better that way, and I think the majority of people do benefit from that.
And do you have a partnership with Jacksonville State University as well? Because I know that my team at work, we actually went and got our CPR training and everything through the continuing education department, and one of your guys was teaching it. Now, I don't know if he was teaching it through the Anniston Fire Department or if he was doing it just maybe like on his own, but I know that he was our instructor. Yeah,
we have partnerships with multiple different agencies, and Gadsden State is just the one for the EMS program. We have other partnerships with Jack State and others for, you know, different things we got going on. But so yeah, there's look, at the end of the day, we try to reach out and be as part of as much as we can, not just in the city of Anniston, but, you know, when it comes to first aid, CPR classes, whatever, you know, we can, if we can't do it, we'll assist you in finding somebody that can. So, you know, that's just the nature of what we do.
Right.
I would be interested in going through a CPR class because you never know.
Oh yeah, I think everybody should go through it.
Oh yeah, and I told my team that I wanted us to be certified just because we go into homes and we have events where senior citizens are there. But not only that, I mean, my team, all three of us are grandparents, and just knowing that you have a young child with you, just to know proper CPR on a child is different than an adult. So, and just in your everyday life, I think it's just something good to know.
Yeah, you never know, when you might need that, and to be prepared. I mean, hopefully, what is it that you plan? You hope for the best and plan for the worst, or
and then hope you fall somewhere in between.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you never have to use it,
Right,
but at least you
have
that tool in your little box that you can take out if you need
Absolutely.
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, and like the tools that you give that are often needed and often used, especially by fire departments with that Alzheimer's and dementia-friendly training, because that is something you're going through and you're expecting, to utilize that. Like your team has put that into.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I know that they get wondering calls. I know police officers get wondering calls all the
We do.
time.
Those are
And I'm
always
sure
so
you guys do too.
Well, and the number of times, it's funny you actually bring that up. Just in the last, 2 to 3 weeks, and social media is that's good or bad, however you want to view it, as an animal of its own. But you constantly see the now updated missing persons things on social media and stuff. But just in the last 2 to 3 weeks in Anniston alone, we've had. I know of 2 or 3, maybe 4 different instances where, they'll put out a missing persons alert, and it'll be an elderly person that just wandered off from their house, or, you know how those circumstances go. But and fortunately, all of those have turned out to be, good outcomes. The person's been found unharmed and returned back to their families. But they just, if they find an unlocked door, they'll wander off, and all of a sudden, they're walking down the street and they don't remember where they're at.
And as a community, we have to be really aware of that. Like, if you see something, say something. If you see somebody that looks like they're out of place and that they're wondering,
then there probably are.
What's the best protocol for that? Do you call 911? Do you call the fire department? What should someone do?
Well, technically, one's in the same, but our number is 911, by the way, everybody, if you need to know. But no, if you call 911. Make sure the person's safe and protected. They're liable to be agitated, they're liable to be scared, they're liable to be, just not know what's going on. But try to keep the person safe until help can arrive. Make sure they're not going to harm themselves. Get out in the street, get hurt, run over, something like that. But just make sure they're safe and protected until such time that somebody can arrive and try to work out that situation.
Home.
Which would be a great thing for everyone to be aware with this dementia training, any businesses, because if we had more people out there that had a better understanding and were more equipped with the knowledge of how to handle something, then think about how much stronger that makes the community.
That's why the state of Alabama calls it Dementia Friendly Alabama, because they're trying to make the whole state of Alabama dementia friendly, and that's why I just had my training Monday for businesses. So we trained people from banks, and we had OPAC that was there. Actually, we had somebody from Mike Rogers' office was there. We had all different types of agencies that were there to learn about how to make their business more dementia friendly and how to recognize, especially banks and stuff, when they're, if somebody's coming in and constantly getting money, or there's there's signs, so and it's just great that our first responders are, they're very open, because you guys don't get enough recognition at all, and I'm just going to go ahead and say thank you for making our community safe, and you guys do a whole lot of good, and people don't realize all the good that you guys do. You guys go above and beyond and go to all these trainings when you don't have to. It's not mandatory, but you guys want to, and I think that's very important for everybody to know.
Well, we appreciate that.
Yeah, I second that. I agree. And Ellen, I'm really glad that the event went well. That was one of my things to ask you, so that's good.
Yes, it went well.
You had a good turnout?
Yeah, had a good turnout. We have some other people that are wanting to do another one.
Yeah.
So the Chamber of Commerce was involved in everything, and they want us to eventually do another one later on down the road. So I'm open for that.
I think that's great. Now, before we move on to a break, I do want to say, because you mentioned social media and about, people, if there was someone who wandered off, but also make sure that you make sure that it is a true post
Yes.
and not a scam post, because a lot of those go
If
along.
it's on a yard sale page, can I do my PSA?
Please, PSA Ellen right now.
PSA for everyone today.
Yes.
If it is posted on a yard sale page or any kind of buy sale page, and then somebody's missing, an animal, elderly person, child, all these kind of things, it's a scam, y'all. I mean, it's a scam. And when you click on the person that actually posted it, you can see that there's no contact information. And then what they do is they wait for everybody to share it, and then they turn around and change the content.
Yeah.
And then you've got all this, for sale stuff, or maybe things that you don't want anybody to see all over your Facebook page or
take
social
over.
media.
Stay diligent.
Yes.
And we definitely want you to share those posts when they are true
But they
and when
play
they
on
are
people's
real.
heartstrings.
Of course they do.
It's not, and it's scam.
Because we all want to help. If you see a post that's like this elderly person has wandered off, of course your first instinct, if you're a good person, to share it.
Post it on a buy sale page or a
Right.
yard sale page. I mean, let's think.
So stay diligent. Just do a little bit of work to make sure that it is a true post. But on that, we've got so much more to talk about. So please stay tuned. You're watching Rise and Shine right here on WEAC TV 24.
Campers Unlimited, we offer a no-pressure experience, no hidden fees, and great service after the sale, making us one of the fastest-growing RV dealers in the Southeast. With our second location in Oxford, we offer a great selection of over 220 campers from top brands, including Grand Design. Our mission is to help friends and family spend time together in the great outdoors. At Campers Unlimited, you aren't just a customer, you are family. Check out our inventory at campersunlimited.net or come see us at Gaston or Oxford.
Hello, I'm Taylor Sloan with the City of Oxford, with a word about one of our city's most precious resources, water. Clean water enriches our lives in so many ways, but we cannot afford to take it for granted. Remember, every time you pour something unnatural down the drain or in the environment, and every time you litter, our beautiful lakes and creeks suffer. Our city is beautiful. Let's all join together to keep it that way. Stop pollution where it starts, and help protect our waters for life.
What can you buy for $10? A hat? A milkshake? 166 channels plus live sports? That's right, for only $10 you can get 166 channels of classic TV shows and movies, including the latest news update from all around the world and local sports. Just simply go to 24ctn.com and click download, and then for only $10 you can have access to the best TV available.
Looking for unbeatable deals? Look no further than Shop 24, your go-to spot for incredible discounts and savings. From local dining and entertainment to grocery stores and everything you need, we've got deals you won't find anywhere else. But hurry, these hot deals are limited and going fast. Grab your phone and call now. Don't let these savings slip away. Join me, Kip Chappell, with Shop 24 every Monday at 6:30 p.m. Tune in to save big with Shop 24.
Some say college isn't for single parents or people who work full-time. I'm here to prove them wrong. I'm a first-generation American, the father of Dion, and a non-traditional student at Gadsden State Community College. As a sergeant in the Army National Guard, I've watched soldiers with degrees progress faster in their careers. So today, I'm in school, involved in the Veterans Upward Bound program, and excited to see what's in store for my career. I truly am earning my wings at Gadsden State.
May not believe it, but it's true. The 2024 Team 1 Chevys are here. All 23-24 Silverado light duties have 2.9% financing for 72 months. The hottest new 24 Team 1 Chevy Blazer, 1.9% financing and no payments till April. And the #1 selling family vehicle, the Equinox, 24 models. You got it. 1.9% financing and no payments till April. Team 1 Chevrolet, home of the best people, the best service, period.
Welcome back and rise and shine, everyone. It's 8 o'clock on your Friday morning, September 20th. And so, of course, Alabama Cares Friday. I I love it. I love getting to visit with my friend Ellen and my new friend Jason.
Yes.
So
it's been fun.
yeah, it has. And so I'm so glad to have you here. Ellen was really ecstatic to have you as our guest this morning, and we knew that there was going to be great information that you could provide for our viewers, and so we appreciate. And I second what Ellen said earlier. We really appreciate all of our first responders. Thank you for the good work, because you were there for the community, and that is, it's just so commendable, and so thank you. I know that's not something that you often can, you're humble.
We don't take this job for recognition, but it's just a calling.
Yeah.
So we appreciate
thank goodness
that.
there are those who have
in the world, and we don't have to elaborate because we all know. And in the world that we live in, I think that there's so many people that work in the community that are taken for granted, and I think our first responders are one of the biggest ones that are taken for granted. Our first responders, our teachers, all those types of our people out in our communities. And like I said, people don't realize what fire departments and police departments do. I mean, I came from a criminal justice background, and like I said, my husband's a retired fireman, so I kind of know a little bit more, I guess, than the average person. But it's just amazing to me what all you guys do out in the community that people don't really understand. They think you guys just sit at the fire department and you sleep and you cook and eat, and then you leave whenever there's a call. But that's not it at all. I mean, you guys do there's a whole lot more in there. And like the smoke detector program, talk about that a little bit.
So, at Anniston, we got the smoke detector program. If you need a smoke detector in your home, or if you there's a couple criteria you got to meet, but if you need a smoke detector, we'll make sure you get one. You call the fire department. You give us your address, your information, some basic information that about you. We put you on a list, and then we'll come out and actually install the smoke detectors for you. The reason we install them, a lot of people will call and be like, hey, can you just give me X number of smoke detectors? And we'd love to be able to do that, but it is a program that's tracked through the state. Every smoke detector we get is done through a state-funded agency. It's started through the Alabama Fire College, and so every smoke detector we get, we have to acquire,
you have to be accountable
for it. Yes, thank you. So we go out and put them in, and that's not only for the accountability process of it, but it's to make sure that they're put in the right manner.
Not on the ceiling anymore.
Well, there's certain areas you can, but there's certain areas location the smoke detector is supposed to be. If it's too far away from opening, or if it's too far down the wall, it's essentially not going to do its job as well. A lot of times people want to put them right outside of a bathroom, things like that. Not recommended, because steam from the bathroom, you open the door. But
exactly.
So we install those because we want to make sure they're installed properly, and that they're actually installed. Because if you come and I just give you a smoke detector, it's great, you've got a smoke detector now, but who's to say you're going to go home and put it up? Because I'll be honest with you, if it's me and my wife will attest to this, she's going to be like, hey, I need you to do something. I'll be like, okay, and I'm going to go get the stuff to do it, but it's going to be 6 months before it gets done. So that smoke detector.
I am impressed.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. I'm not going to lie on TV.
I am so impressed.
Me too. I can't say you're admitting that. Wow.
So that's why it's important we come out and install them.
It is.
And we use that, again, as a caveat to go into some residents we may not essentially be able to go into.
Correct,
And, maybe talk about some other fire safety stuff.
There's the benefit in that.
It is.
Yeah.
The only drawback to the program, and it's not really a drawback, I completely understand why we can't, but if you're renting a property or something like that, we can't install them in those per the program, because that's the responsibility of the landlord. So, but either way, we'll make sure you get a smoke detector.
And you talk to them about when to replace their batteries, because I always heard that it's good. Two things I've always heard: either change batteries, change the seasons, or change batteries on your birthday.
It's once a year. When we go into schools and stuff for years, and see, we're having to train ourselves again too, because the smoke detectors we give out are 9-volt battery smoke detectors.
Right.
So not only do I have a plethora of smoke detectors, I've got a plethora of 9-volt batteries, and a lot of times when we put the smoke detectors in, we'll give them an extra battery for each smoke detector. But for years going into schools and other places, we've trained kids to, on your birthday,
Right. I've heard that.
You get your parents to, it's your birthday, but it's your smoke detector's birthday, so you get your parents to check the smoke detector.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, parents, but even me as a parent, when my kids, they'd come home from school and somebody tell them that, I'm like, something else I got to do. But we made it a game, and we did.
Well, before you blow out those birthday candles, make
my
sure
problem was we had 4 kids, so my smoke detectors got changed 4 times a year.
Oh, no.
So I would recycle batteries. I'd put one in a drawer, but don't do that. But it's once a year, so make sure the batteries are changed once a year. And even if it's not chirping, don't wait for it to chirp. But the new smoke detectors, a lot of what you're going to buy now at like hardware stores and things of that nature, they're 10-year smoke detectors. So the batteries never have to be changed. It's from the date of manufacture of the detector, the battery and detector is good for 10 years. Because that's something a lot of people don't know either, is that a smoke detector is only good for 10 years.
Okay.
It doesn't matter what it is.
So you should buy a new one.
Every 10 years. So if you look on the bottom of a smoke detector, the little bracket that it mounts up into, if you turn it off on the back of that, there should be a date somewhere, a sticker with a date. And that smoke detector is only good from 10 years from the date on that sticker. Date of manufacturer.
Check your dates.
Yes, check your dates.
That's interesting. I learned something new.
That being said, a lot of the newer smoke detectors, you don't have to change the batteries, but you still need to check them and test them, periodically once a month or so.
Don't they have the detectors now that detect carbon monoxide?
Carbon monoxide, and you can get we could talk for hours on smoke detectors. There's so many of them out there now. But just your general smoke detectors. If you've got gas appliances in your house or business or wherever you're putting the smoke detectors, anywhere you've got gas, you need to make sure you have a carbon monoxide detector.
Okay.
You can get combo units to where they do both, but typically, people's going to have a smoke and then a carbon monoxide, two different ones. Just make sure that, if you've got gas and things like that, you've got those carbon monoxide detectors.
And another thing that people don't realize that the fire department does, because I took advantage of this.
I feel like I'm being baited.
Is that
I'm wondering.
You guys actually help folks install baby seats.
Car seats,
like
yes,
car
ma'am.
seats.
Car seats. Oh, that's so important.
Yeah, because it's been a minute since I did those, and so and my husband too.
Let's be completely honest.
And so
we didn't do it right.
Yeah, right. And so when I got a granddaughter, when we got our first, our grandchild. I was like, you know what, precious cargo, I'm going to the fire department.
You heard that, didn't you?
And I did. And so
the granddaughter was precious cargo. The kid was expendable.
I didn't know any better. Now you know better.
Now you know better.
Older, wiser.
But it was so awesome because I went to the fire department over there, close to Stringfellow, that
station 1?
Yeah, that station there. And I just went in and some young guys were like, sure, yes ma'am, we'll do it. And so they're very open to help you and everything, and then you know that it's installed properly.
In there. And it's really nice because, that's important. You have the car seat, but if it's not installed properly, then things can go wrong. You got those tether systems, and where do you put the seat belt and put in it's a lot.
You're 100% right.
They've come a long way, too. So not only but also the car seats have.
Well, there's a lot of misconceptions, because I'm going to be honest, as a parent, and y'all know, having kids, that that first kid you're super protective of. The second one comes along, you're like, by the time the third and fourth come along, you're just like, whatever. But the misconception about car seats is they're really not that hard to install. Well, they used to not be. Now they are with all the stuff. But sometimes we have to read the directions to figure out how to do it. But it's a basic concept. But making sure it's installed properly, whether it be forward facing, rear facing, it doesn't, you don't have to use every strap on the car seat.
You don't?
No, not every time, because there's certain straps for certain positions. But taking it to a fire department, look, we're not the only one that does it, but in your area, because most fire departments now have some type of certification where they can do that.
And all I had to do was fill out a little thing
Again, it's just
get credit for actually helping me. And actually, one of the young men that helped me, he had a baby on the way. I said, well, you're welcome.
There you go.
Yeah, you got practice.
That's a great service.
It is, and it's a beneficial service. And look, it's a peace of mind thing. When you leave and you know that your car seat's been installed properly, and you ain't got to worry about your child in the back.
And it's definitely, because I mean there's. Good Lord, he had put the strap through the thing in the back.
Those tether
those guys were like in my car. Like, I mean,
it's not
pushing down on it. One's pushing, one's pulling the strap. Yeah, it's not. And you're thinking, how am I supposed to do this by myself?
Right. And especially with a baby.
Yeah.
Like you're installing it. You're having to
figure this out.
Baby, hold on. And you know, back to the smoke detectors. One thing that came to my mind when you're talking about the changing of the batteries is smoke detectors is one of the most important things in your home, because you want to make, you know, if it didn't work and it didn't alert you to a fire, but then it's also one of the most neglected things in our home. So how is that the most important but the most neglected? Well, I mean, I know I do. I don't know the last time I changed
most
my batteries.
people don't think about their smoke detector until it starts chirping in the middle of the night and wakes them up, and then you know what happens? It chirps. They get tired of it. They take it down.
Something in the kitchen.
Well, I'm gonna leave that one alone, or I will be in trouble today.
My husband does all the cooking, so.
So in other words, blame your husband.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm hoping, do you change our batteries? I need to know. But that is, we have to keep that top of mind, because it is the most important thing for our safety. But yet we oftentimes just forget all about it. We put it in there and fix it. So I'm going to start doing a better job. Thank you. That is one of my biggest takeaways. And we want to know what your biggest takeaway is. Comment on our Facebook page. If you are watching us on social media right now, you know, send us some messages. What do you do? How do you make sure that you change your batteries? And what's your biggest takeaway so far? And there is more to come. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. You're watching Rise and Shine right here on WEAC TV 24.
Come out and check out the Alabama Tractor Difference. We can take care of all your needs of parts, sales, and service for RTVs, zero turns, and tractors and construction equipment. See us here in Lincoln at 620 Speedway Industrial Drive. Or come visit us here in Asheville at 275 6th Avenue, or give us a call at 205-594-7000.
At Southern States Bank, we pride ourselves on being your bank. We're your neighbors and involved in the community. We're the bank featuring the Southern Rewards checking account, a cashback account with no ATM fees. We are on the cutting edge and always have a smiling face to help you out. So come to Southern States Bank, where we are committed to great service and being a great neighbor. Let us be the bank for you and your business.
Hughes Paint and Body Works Towing and Recovery in Oxford is the area's leading auto body shop, serving Anniston, Oxford, Talladega, and surrounding areas since 1996. They specialize in auto body repair and refinishing, paint correction, paintless dent repair, towing, and so much more. For all of your auto body needs, contact Hughes Paint and Body Works Towing and Recovery at 256-835-1170. Also online at HughesPaintandBody.com.
I'm Alan Parnell, the Parnell Insurance Agency. We've been here in Oxford and Alabama, Tallapoosa, Georgia since 1990. With Auto Owners Insurance, we're able to give customers competitive pricing along with excellent coverages. Parnell Insurance can handle all of your personal, commercial, and life insurance needs. We have a very experienced staff, both personal and commercial. All together, we've got about 125 years experience. Come see what our insurance agency can do for you in Oxford, Alabama, and Tallapoosa, Georgia.
Auto Owners Insurance.
At Family Prosthetic and Medical Supply, we care about you. We offer custom prosthetics, orthotics, diabetic shoes, and durable medical supplies. We're located here in Alexandria, Alabama, where it's a country feel but professional care. Come see us today.
Campers Unlimited, we offer a no-pressure experience, no hidden fees, and great service after the sale, making us one of the fastest-growing RV dealers in the Southeast. With our second location in Oxford, we offer a great selection of over 220 campers from top brands, including Grand Design. Our mission is to help friends and family spend time together in the great outdoors. At Campers Unlimited, you aren't just a customer, you are family. Check out our inventory at campersunlimited.net or come see us at Gaston or Oxford.
We're having so much fun here on Rise and Shine, so welcome back. It's Friday morning, 8/17, September the 20th. I cannot believe it's already September the 20th.
Last Friday of the summer.
It is. Oh, it is.
Yes, because
Last
tomorrow
Friday of
is the
summer.
official day of fall.
Well, y'all
And
go
it's
enjoy
feel
your
like
last
summer.
day.
Welcome to Alabama.
It'll feel like summer, yeah.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I don't mind the warm weather.
We actually have summer until like November is what I think.
Really,
You know what I mean?
we really have
Like
a fall.
1 week
we
of
have
fall,
some days of
then
fall.
it's Christmas, and then it's pre-summer, and then
And
it's
it really
spring
starts
for a few
getting
weeks.
cold in like February. We're all over the place. But but make sure in all of your seasons that your home is safe and you have the fire detector. So if someone is listening and says, "Well, I want a fire detector," how do they do that? How do they go about receiving one?
You can go to the Anniston Fire Department's website and call the main number to the fire department. Somebody there will take your information. They'll fill out a form and jot your information down, and they'll get it to me or the appropriate person to get that done. The way that works is one of the assistant fire marshals is over that program, making sure the fire detectors or smoke detectors get installed. We do them in order of how they come. So when you call, we put your name, we get your information, we put you on a list, and then it's assigned to a station and shift, and the guys will contact you and they'll come out.
And you
set
have
up
to
time
live
to
in the city limits, I'm
City
sure,
limits of
of Anniston. So do all the other departments in Calhoun County do these? I
Yes,
think Jacksonville does.
Jacksonville does, Oxford does, Piedmont does, and it's to that avail. You have to live in the cities, in the city limits for us to be able to come do it. We will in the police jurisdiction, depending on circumstances, but those unincorporated areas, the counties where there's not a city fire department, there's volunteers, things like that. The program is trying to figure out a way to help those people have access to them also. It's just hard because, with volunteer departments, and they do a great job, especially with the limited manpower they have, like they're suffering just like everybody else right now. But they do a great job of doing what they can, but there's not somebody there all the time to be able to go put these detectors in. So.
And technically, I mean, the volunteer fire departments are there, thank goodness, like you said, but technically your municipalities lots of times will help
we'll help anybody that needs help.
You know what I mean? Because I've seen that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, technically, you guys are all helping each other. It should be just, like a given. The state should just say, you know what, you all should be able to do this. And I mean, not that you guys should go out in the counties, because I know you guys don't have time. But as far as being able to provide that to everybody and just because you don't live in the municipality.
And they are working. There's plans. It's just logistics. It's hard.
Correct. Yeah, I understand.
Well, give them a call and see if they can come out and provide you a fire detector.
Yeah.
So I think that you are so brave. Of course, being in the fire department, that's so brave. Being a paramedic, so brave. But one thing that I've read that you're doing makes me think that you are really brave, and that is third grade visits. Okay, so fighting a fire has nothing on third grade classroom.
Questions, because I know I get crazy questions when I go into
So
school.
tell
Ellen,
us about this.
she mentioned teachers a while ago, and look, we do a lot. My hat's off to teachers. I couldn't do what y'all do.
Yes.
So Anniston, several years ago, under the now chief, previous fire marshal, we looked at our fire prevention month and who we were targeting, and did a little studying, and he figured out at the time that third grade was the target group. No, we still try to, and they get upset sometimes because we don't do it often, but we still try to hit some of the preschools and earlier grades. But third grade is that pivotal point we found to where when we go in and we start talking to them about smoke detectors and fire escape plans and things of that nature, they lock in on it.
The stop, drop, and roll.
Yes.
I remember that.
So they are actually taking it back to, and look, we've had situations. I've been on the calls, and I know our crews have too. Several of them mentioned it to me over the years that, hey, we ran this call and there was such and such going on at this house at this incident, and the kid or the parent come up to him and said, hey, we remember when y'all come to our school and we did what you told us to do.
Oh, that's wonderful. Early education.
And then you know that you did something right.
Well, yeah. So, so we focus on third grades. Historically, we've done it in April. And we did it in April because typically, you know, there's just so much going on with the school system. By then, they're starting to slow down a little bit. But this year, we've moved it back to October, Fire Prevention Month. The schools that are in the Anniston jurisdiction, not just the city, but the county schools, we're going to, if they're in our PJ, if we respond to those locations, we're trying to go to those schools. But we're setting up appointments now to where our crews will go into the 3rd grade classes and they'll, you know, give a presentation and give them some goodies. And
that's so big, especially for a 3rd grader. You know, like there's a fireman in his uniform. You know, that's so cool.
And you could even, like, you know, inspire them to want to pursue a career in fire. And so that's wonderful. That early education can tie into such a long-term fire safety awareness. Like if it's instilled in you at a younger age to be aware of these things. And hey, Mom, did you change the fire detector batteries? Or Dad? Or, you know, like
and an
making
appreciation
sure.
too for our first responders.
Yes.
I think, like I said, I think the community work that all our police officers, all our fire departments do, all our first responders, when they're out in these schools and out in the communities doing stuff, and you're doing more than just arresting people, fighting fires, taking people to the hospital, that kind of thing, and they see you as a human, and they see you caring and educating them and wanting them to do better, and you know, you're there for them to succeed. You know, I think that's big.
Well, and I'm going to give an unshameless plug here to not just the fire department, but police department, the city itself. Anniston's done good. The fire department, police department, the city, you know, through some programs we got in the city about doing just that. Not, you know, oftentimes when you see us or you see a fire or a police officer, it's in a situation of need. It's when an incident's going on, and it's not always the most favorable time.
Correct.
You know.
Yes.
And we've made it a point not to just be seen when we're needed, but to be seen when we're not needed. Things like touch a truck and you know, the police department, some programs they've got, the fire department, some programs we got, getting out there in front of people when it's not an emergency, when you don't see the light shining and then the sirens, you know, blaring going over.
The first responder, do you guys participate in the first responder trick or treat thingy that they have in Calhoun County? Or is it just Oxford?
It's just Oxford, I think,
Oxford.
yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, look, we're not opposed to it. I mean, but there's a lot goes on. Each city kind of has their own. You know, Anniston has several big Halloween things that, you know, go on that week. So we're a part of, you know, most all of those inside the city of Anniston. But we've done a good job of getting out there in front of people and making ourselves known, not just when needed, but, you know, all the time.
Right.
I'm sure Halloween is a big time for first responders.
Hey, look, we're a bunch of kids too.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if you come into a firehouse,
bring some candy.
You know, well,
or some cookies.
They wouldn't turn it down.
We're not going to turn it down.
Yeah, they wouldn't turn it down.
I think that's a great thing to do. Take a box of goodies to your local fire department and say thank you.
You guys don't have a Dalmatian on your truck or anything.
Yeah, why not?
No.
That would be awesome if you did.
Oh yeah, you could bring it in. I love the animals.
Yes.
I'm always about it. That'd be wonderful.
Then there would be somebody else that would be responsible for the animal.
Oh yeah.
There's a whole other level. We only have a couple more minutes, so I can't believe it. You're going to have to come back and visit with us more because I still have lots of questions.
Absolutely.
But I want to make sure that we cover. So next month begins, October is Fire Prevention Month awareness. Fire Prevention Awareness or Fire Prevention Month.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And that's when
and
you're
it's
doing
3rd grade visit.
And it's bless you and good luck.
Pray for us.
Again, that takes a different level of bravery. So best wishes, but it's something needed, and I know those 3rd graders are going to appreciate it. And as Ellen said, they're just going to be overjoyed that some firefighters are coming in. You know, so thank you, and you can inspire some future leaders and future firefighters and EMTs. But first off is to make sure that everyone is aware of fire safety and how important that is, because it's a scary thing. A fire is. I mean, you're around it. You see it. You see a lot of tragedy surrounding fire, and it really is scary. But it can also be prevented by simple steps, and one of them is to have
changing batteries,
making sure that you're checking that date. Put it on your calendar. Put yourself a reminder. And if you don't want to share your birthday with your fire detector, then you can have its own birthday. You can say, okay, this day is my fire detector's birthday, and change it out and keep up with it there. So with
Absolutely.
that, is there anything else we want to make sure to leave our viewers with today?
Well, I think to make sure, like you said, the fire detectors, and also to make sure that they know that they can install the seats, the
Car seats.
car seats for children, and the whole high school thing. I mean, you guys. I mean, if you have a child that has shown interest in being a fireman or an EMT, I think that you should contact Anniston Fire. This is a great opportunity for the kids to actually have a job when they get out of high school. I mean, that's wonderful.
I wish that program had been there when I was going.
Right.
And then if you think, because you guys have state retirement, or is it city?
No, we're private retirement.
Private retirement, but I mean, my gosh, your retirement would start. That's fantastic.
To be able to get out of school, if that's what you know you want to do, you can start at a younger age, and you have firsthand experience with a family member who's been able to go through that, and that's so important.
Yeah. And tell your son we appreciate him
so much. I didn't know if we could say it, but yes, thank you. Thanks to him for all he does. I have a firsthand experience in the bravery that he has shown. So thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you to all.
Awesome.
Yes, it is.
Awesome.
Oh, you're gonna make me tear. Well, we're going to end up the show. Don't tear yet, but that's okay.
No,
I
we're
keep
good.
tissues in here.
That's a good thing. It's
It's good tears, and we appreciate it again. Thank you to all of the first responders, and thank you for Jason Brown, the assistant chief and fire marshal with the Anniston Fire Department, for being our guest this morning. Come back anytime. Keep us posted. We are big fans of you and your department. And Ellen, as always, it's a joy to visit you with you on Fridays.
Well, thank you.
And to all of our viewers tuning in, thank you so much, and thank you for your commitment to community. So with that being said, we're going to wish you all a wonderful rest of your day and happy weekend, and we'll see you back here on Monday morning on Rise and Shine right here on WEAC TV 24.
Bye.
Hello everyone, welcome to Let's Talk About It. My name is Marquita Mansfield, and I am sitting here with an international bestseller